lines, power, and pressure. Inside the ICE Airport Deployment News Narrative by journalist John L. Farmer. When travel stops feeling routine, my name is John L. Farmer. And tonight, we're not just talking about airport delays. We're talking about a moment where the system that millions depend on every day started to crack. Because across the United States, from New York to Atlanta to Chicago, passengers aren't just waiting in line anymore. They're standing in uncertainty. And now, a new presence has arrived at airport checkpoints, agents from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Chapter 1, The Image That Changed the Terminal. Picture this. You're at the airport, bag in hand, boarding pass ready, expecting to see blue uniformed officers from the Transportation Security Administration. But instead, you see ICE agents standing near the security lines, watching crowds, helping direct movement. And immediately, something feels different. Chapter 2, Why They're There. Let's break it down. This didn't happen randomly. It started with a problem. Staff shortages. Severe ones. Thousands of TSA officers, unpaid due to a prolonged government shutdown, simply stopped showing up. At one point, nearly 12% of the workforce, over 3,400 agents, were absent. At some airports, it was worse. Much worse. Chapter 3, The Lines That Wouldn't Move at Major Hubs like Atlanta. Lines stretched for hours. People waited outside terminals. Flights were missed. Families stranded. Some travelers were told to arrive 4 hours early just to make it through security. And even then, there were no guarantees. Chapter 4, The Government Shutdown Effect. This crisis didn't begin at the airport. It began in Washington. A political standoff over funding left the Department of Homeland Security in limbo, and that meant TSA workers, essential workers, were working without pay, or not working at all. Hundreds resigned. Others simply couldn't afford to keep showing up. Chapter 5, Enter ICE. So the administration made a move. Deploy ICE agents, hundreds of them, to more than a dozen airports across the country. New York, Atlanta, New Orleans, Phoenix, Chicago, all now part of the same story. Chapter 6, What ICE is actually doing. Officials say ICE is not replacing TSA. They're assisting, helping manage crowds, checking IDs, guarding exit lanes, freeing TSA agents to focus on screening. That's the official line. Chapter 7, But here's the controversy, because not everyone agrees. Critics say ICE agents are not trained for airport security, not the same way TSA officers are. And unions are warning, this could make things worse, not better. Chapter 8, The Blurred Line. Here's where things get complicated. Officials say ICE isn't there for immigration enforcement, but they are still law enforcement, which means if they see something, they can act. And that's where confusion begins, because passengers are asking, am I just going through security? Or am I being watched in a different way? Chapter 9, The Politics Behind the Move. This isn't just about airports. It's about power. The deployment came amid political pressure, deadlock between Republicans and Democrats, debates over immigration policy, funding battles, and now, those national disagreements are showing up at airport checkpoints. Chapter 10, The Passenger Experience back in the terminals. People are tired, standing for hours, feet hurting, flights slipping away. Some support the extra help, others question it. Some feel safer, others feel uneasy, because something about this moment feels different from normal travel. Chapter 11, The Scale of the Problem. This isn't one airport. It's nationwide, at least 14 major airports affected. And the ripple effect, everywhere. Flights delayed across states, connections missed across the country. Chapter 12, The Breakdown of a System. Air travel depends on timing, precision, coordination. But when staffing drops, everything slows. And when everything slows, pressure builds. And when pressure builds, decisions like this happen. Chapter 13, The Security Question. Let's ask the hard question. Is this safe? Officials say yes. Critics say not necessarily. Because airport security isn't just about presence. It's about training, procedures, consistency. And right now, that consistency is being tested. Chapter 14. The human side of TSA. Think about TSA workers. Showing up without pay, standing for hours, dealing with frustrated travelers, and still expected to perform perfectly. That pressure is part of this story too. Chapter 15. The longer this lasts, the longer the shutdown continues, the worse it gets. More resignations, more absences, longer lines, more strain on the system, and more reliance on temporary solutions like this. Chapter 16. The public reactions are mixed. Some say anything to move the lines faster. Others say this shouldn't be happening at all. And both sides have a point. Chapter 17. The bigger picture. This isn't just about airports. It's about infrastructure, about how systems handle stress, about what happens when essential workers aren't supported. Chapter 18. A moment of uncertainty right now. We don't know how long this will last. We don't know if staffing will improve. We don't know if delays will get worse. All we know is this: the system is under pressure. Chapter 19. What comes next? Will funding be resolved? Will TSA staffing return? Will ICE remain in airports? Or will this become a new normal? Chapter 20. Final reflection. Airports are supposed to be predictable. You arrive, you check in, you go through security, you fly. But tonight, that routine has changed, because when politics meets infrastructure, people feel it, in lines, in delays, in uncertainty. OUTRO, the wait continues. This is John L. Farmer, reporting on a moment when America's airports became more than transit hubs. They became a reflection of something bigger, a system under strain, a country in disagreement, and passengers caught in the middle